Market and the 20th year of the Chef Barbecue. We are so happy all of you could join us this evening. Thank you to our executive chef sponsors, All at Home Research, All of Us Research Program, and Goose Island Beer Company. Thank you to our chefs, our staff, our farmers, our board of directors, associate board, our incredible community of volunteers, and of course, to all of you watching this evening. Together, we'll be joining virtually this evening our Chef Barbecue at Home. We're going to feature great chef demos and a lively conversation from chefs Cedric Hardin of River Roast, Paul Varant of Vistro and Gaijin, Seth Bradley and Ryan Vanverhis from New Dude Foods. But first, a message from our sponsor, and then we'll hear a great chef demo from Paul Varant with a special bonus demo from Julius White, the General Manager and Beverage Director at Gaijin. Enjoy.
What lies inside all of us is more than data. It's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. We ask for 1 million individuals to come forward and stand on this landmark in history. All of us are different. And it's those very differences that will lead to answers for generations to come.
Thanks for joining us at Gaijin Chicago today. I'm Julius White. I'm the General Manager and Beverage Director here. Today, in partnership with the Green City Market Barbecue, we're going to be doing a savory seasonal highball. We're going to start with a little Suntory Roku Gin. Then we have a beautiful seasoned tomato water from locally grown cherry tomatoes. To produce this, we just take the tomatoes and then blend them together, season them with a little bit of salt, and then let them drain overnight. We spice this cocktail up with a little bit of our house-made ginger syrup, along with some fresh lemon for a little additional acidity. A little ice here, and then we're gonna go over to our Harazaki Suntory highball machine, get some high-pressure club soda. Agitate that to incorporate the ingredients and then stir just to dilute and chill a little more. And then for our garnish, we've got one of the cherry tomatoes that we worked with along with candied dried ginger. And there you have it, our savory seasonal highball. Should be an awesome pairing with Chef Varant's Japanese eggplant dish.
So for my Green City Market inspired dish, I want to do a quintessential Japanese dish, which is marinated eggplant. So the eggplant to look for this particular dish is the Japanese eggplant. So the first thing is prepping the eggplant, right? So we've washed the eggplant. We're going to trim the ends on the eggplant, okay? And then you can actually slice the eggplant lengthwise, okay? Which we're going to do that right now. Ultimately, I'm looking for about a 1/2 inch sliced Japanese eggplant, okay? Okay, so we've cut them in half lengthwise. Then I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch bias slice. And when I mean a bias slice, it's on an angle slice, okay? We're going to do that. And then the key with eggplant, like eggplant has kind of a bitter element to it. So, and like a lot of vegetables, they contain a ton of water. So what I like to do, whether it's making eggplant Parmesan, or in this case, this fried and marinated eggplant, I like to salt the eggplant in advance. So whatever quantity of eggplant, do 1.5% of that salt, okay? So what I'll do, so you got your eggplant cut, and you'll lose a little bit of the volume, I think, hence, that's why I want to cut it a little thicker like that. So we got 1.5% salt, okay? And then just mix in the salt, okay? And then what you'll do, because it will drip off some water, is you're gonna place the eggplant in a colander, right? And then what I would probably do in this case is use the same bowl and you want to press the eggplant. So I would weigh this down with some water or some other weights, right? And I would do that for an hour, okay? So that's the first step. So it's been an hour, eggplant's been pressing. So now we're gonna pat dry the eggplant. So old kitchen towels, paper towels, okay? And you can see there's a lot of moisture that's left on the eggplant. So we're gonna get this patted dry. Another layer of towels on the top, and then you're really gonna press them, but the more you dry them out, the drier they will fry, if that makes any sense. And you can see all that moisture coming off of the eggplant, right? So I really, I'm putting all 150 pounds of my weight into this. Okay? All right, maybe it was a little more than 150 pounds, maybe. All right, so there we go. So that's the eggplant. So now it's ready to fry, okay? So let's talk about the dressing. So, I mean, technically you probably don't have to heat this stuff up, but I think it's more effective just to marry all the ingredients. So we have dashi, okay? So dashi is one of the most quintessential ingredients in Japanese food. And it's basically a combination of kombu or kelp stock with bonito flakes added to it. And dashi is, it's the base of miso soup. It's the base of a lot of different things. So we have a cup of dashi. Okay. We have 2 ounces of ponzu. Then we have some mirin that we add to as well. And then last but not least, we have soy sauce or shoyu. And that's it. So we're gonna just quickly bring this up to a boil and turn it off the heat, okay? So while we're doing the dressing, we have some scallions. Scallions is what is typically used, but you could use, regular onions or shallots. I mean, there's incredible alliums at the Green City Market. For a couple pounds of eggplant, I use 4 scallions, right? Okay, so we're just gonna slice the scallions on a bias. Again, on an angle. And these will go in the marinade with the eggplant. So the marinade is coming up to a boil. So I'm gonna slide over here. So I'm gonna pour those hot right over the scallions. I like to do that because it just sort of blooms. It kind of cooks the scallions a little bit, provides a little bit of flavor. And then next move is frying the eggplant. Drop them in the fryer. And typically, you're looking for golden brown, 2 to 3 minutes. Eggplants come out, and then we're gonna go right in the marinade. We're gonna let this kind of make sure that it's tossed in the dressing, and then it's ready to go. This is an easy dish to do a large amount of if you're having friends over. Okay, so a nice plate of the eggplant. And then traditionally the Japanese garnish with the bonito flakes. So there you have it. Japanese eggplant marinated in shoyu, ponzu, mirin, and dashi with some scallions, and bonito flakes. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys try this at home and enjoy the barbecue. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for that incredible chef demo, and to Julius for the refreshing drink. That looks incredible. To our guests at home, you can follow us along, send us your questions at facebook.com/Green City Market. So Paul, we'll get back to our questions from the audience shortly, but first we want to check in with our panel of chefs. If you could each introduce yourselves and just kind of talk about why you got involved or how you first learned about Green City Market. Paul, we'll start with you.
Sounds great, Melissa. Thanks for having me. Everybody, welcome to the virtual 2020 Green City Market Barbecue. My name is Paul Verant, and I have three restaurants. My flagship restaurant is V in Western Springs, Vistro in Hinsdale, and then Gaijin, which is in the West Loop. Green City Market. My first experience with Green City Market was actually indirectly through, I can't remember if it was through Beth Eccles from Green Acres at the Federal Plaza Market in the city when I used to work at the Everest Room, or was it Nick Nichols from the Nichols Farm, who was at the Lincoln Park Farmers Market on Armitage. But either way, it was one of those two, and maybe it was both of them, that said, you know, you need to check out the Green City Market, which was, I think, brand new. I think, Melissa, it started in 1998, right?
Correct.
So that was my first exposure. You know, I've always been a big advocate for cooking seasonally and buying as much as you can locally. So when I moved to Chicago in 1996, you know, began the search in a new market for farmers and artisans that were doing things well. So that's kind of how I found the market. Been a fan ever since.
And we know that lots of your sous chefs have gotten to find us through you, so thank you.
For sure.
Cedric, how did you come to get to know Green City?
Hi, Cedric Harden from River Roast, downtown Chicago. I formerly worked for Chef Bill Kim for a long time, and when we worked at Leland back in about 2006 or 2007, he would always invite all of his line cooks, whoever wanted to go, to the Green City Market on a Wednesday or a Saturday. I believe majority Saturdays. He would always entice us with like Chinatown afterwards, so that definitely was a draw. And then just started to grow with different relationships with farmers after that, and you know, here I am.
Well, we're glad you're still with us all these years later.
Thank you.
And Seth and Ryan, how about you? Because I know I see you all the time at the market.
Hey everybody, I'm Seth Bradley. This is my business partner Ryan Van Boris, and we make up New Dude Food. We're a private dining and kind of smaller scale catering company. I think my first experience hearing about the market, this dates back to 2008. I was a server at Nassau Now 27, and the beverage director at the time would source a lot of botanicals, herbs from the market, and would always just rave about the quality of the product. So that was the first time we had heard about it, but we really didn't start shopping there until we started our business about 3.5 years ago. Cooking seasonally and locally was always a big focus of ours as we developed the brand. And you know, really it started with going to the markets on Wednesday mornings and relationships we formed with not only, you know, the Green City crew, but all the farmers and purveyors. I mean, it was kind of an instantaneous connection with not only the growers of the food, but then the quality of the food itself. So kind of just became our home base and our staple for kind of all aspects of our business.
Well, we're so glad to have all of you with us this evening. Chefs, as you know, Green City Market has really been a leading organization, both locally and nationally, to fight for the survival of our small family farms. And each of you, I know, have really done that in your own businesses. Could you tell us a little bit about how you use your voice to help our family farmers? Seth or Ryan, we can start with you.
Sure, yeah, thank you. I mean, we, as a small business ourselves, of course, love to support the local farmers. We try to do everything we can. Like Chef said before, you know, it's just good practice to set seasonal menus basing around the produce that's at the market. And we do that with our clients that we interact with at private dinners too. We're always educating them about where we get the produce, what the ingredients are that we're putting in the meals, when we present them to them. But also, we've done a couple demos at the market ourselves. And so, whether it be through our clients that we're cooking for, passers-by in Chicago that see us at the market, we're always doing our best to support the local farms.
Great. Paul, how about you?
You know, like I think for any chef, I mean, the quality of ingredients is the cornerstone of what's going to make your restaurant or your operation special. And it's just, I think it's always been, you know, I think for me it's been, you know, it's inspiring to watch other chefs from, you know, all over the world, but, you know, like sort of kind of a European model, at least in my experience as a chef. You know, most of my training was European, and it's just that whole idea of you're going to go to the farmers markets, you're going to have connections with the purveyors, with the farmers, with the cheesemakers, and it's local. You know, like when you're in Italy, and this isn't just in Europe. Obviously, it's all over the world. But I think for me, just with my training, but you know, if you're in Italy and you live inland, you know, you don't eat as much seafood as you do unless you're on the coast. You know, so it all comes down to like sourcing out the best ingredients that you can get. So that's always been something that's inspired me over the years, having had the opportunity to work for chefs that really believe that, and so it's great. I mean, you know, the Green City Market is sort of it's the liaison, or one of the significant entities that bring incredible food to restaurants and chefs in the Chicago area. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Cedric, how about you?
Hey, for me, growing up in Michigan, somewhat, not really a rural area, but they had a lot of farmers markets because just miles away was a lot of farms. And my grandmother would always take me to all these different markets, and fresh corn, apples, strawberries, and things like that. And then once I moved to Chicago and finally saw a Green City Market, it was my early 20s. It's kind of like the connection came together, and it just made sense to use fresh local ingredients when you can. Obviously, working in the restaurant business, you can't always get everything from the Green City Market or local, but you try to get it as local as possible, just to make sure that that you are supporting what's around you, because that's what's supporting you monetarily, and honestly, that's who you want to support.
Well, thank you, chefs. Really, since day one, chefs have been the absolute cornerstone of Green City Market and really helped our farmers grow in Chicago. So thank you for all that you do. Paul, we do have a question from a viewer who is asking, if you don't have all the ingredients to make the dish that you did in the demo, are there any substitutes that you would recommend?
Well, I guess I would come back with what are the ingredients that they don't have. So
they didn't tell us. So I don't know if there's any easy things that you can recommend for substitution.
Yeah, I mean, some of the I think for the marinated eggplant, I mean, I guess it could be interesting to try it with some other vegetables. I mean, it's the preparation of eggplant that works well with that dish, but you could probably substitute like some summer beans, which are beginning to happen right now. I think the idea is that it's sort of, I mean, it's kind of a escovage style, right? Like it's cooked vegetables, however you cook them. So in this case, it's eggplant that's been salted, pressed, and deep fried, and then goes right into a marinade. So I guess now that I've thought through it a little bit, I mean, you could probably substitute all kinds of things, but I kind of like the bean idea. Mm-hmm. Even summer squashes might be good, and whether it's grilled or roasted, I think that would work.
And one other question we have, a viewer wanted to know, if you don't have a deep fryer at home, what's the safest way to sort of get that texture or that experience at home?
Well, you need to get a deep fryer. That's what you need to do.
My kids would say that too.
No, if you don't have a deep fryer, you could do a shallow pan fry. There's something about like with the eggplant, like when you fry the eggplant, it sort of adds like this umami kind of richness that I think is hard to kind of duplicate. But I mean, you could try the grilling. But I mean, you can fry at home. Get a thermometer and a heavy bottom iron pan. I would recommend that. But I'd also recommend buying a fryer. It's not going to break the bank.
Well, that sounds good. Well, thank you, chefs, for sharing your experiences, and Paul for the tip. Our chefs will be back to answer more questions right after we hear and see what Cedric Hardin from River Roast is preparing this evening.
Hi, my name is Cedric Harden. I'm the executive chef here at River Roast on the beautiful Chicago River. I am going to be making a strawberry basil mojito. Also, I'll be making an heirloom tomato salad with fresh burrata and toasted bread. So I'm going to start with the mojito. So first, I'm going to add the basil and the strawberries. Just a few leaves of basil. I'm going to tear the basil to pieces so when you muddle them, they become smaller, not so big. About 8 pieces of strawberries. And then I'm going to put the sugar on top. Now we're going to muddle the mixture here. Just going to press and twist until it becomes a nice red pulp of the strawberries. Maybe about 20 seconds. Then I'm going to add some ice. My alcohol, which is Bacardi, 2 ounces. I'm going to use my mixer just to mix all the ingredients together. A fresh glass for ice. Add your mix. And it's going to top with Topo Chico. Whoa. And garnish with a lemon. And that's your mojito cocktail. It's amazing, it's fresh. You know, all the ingredients are available at the Green City Market. It's a great summer drink. So now we're going to move into the tomato and burrata salad. So first we need to make a pesto to go with the with the tomatoes to mix it and for garnish. So we're going to start with putting our Parmesan into our food processor, along with garlic. And then we're just going to pulse this a couple times just to make a paste. So once the garlic is all chopped, then you're going to add your basil. You add all your basil to the mixture, and then you're going to turn this into a paste also. So now I'm going to keep it on, and I'm going to slowly add my olive oil. And you just want to add your oil just enough until it's like a medium thickness, and it's that quick. And now you have your pesto here. So I'm going to get started toasting the bread, just so that's ready by the time we need it. A nice hot pan, add butter, move it around just a tad bit. I got a griddle pan here. Put my sourdough on and let that go until it's ready. So it's ready, nice and toasted. So now on to the tomatoes. So we have some wonderful tomatoes here from Nichols Farms. So you obviously you don't want to use this part of the tomato, which is part from the vine. So what I like to do is I just cut around it. Just cut around and kind of cut at an angle so you don't lose too much tomato. And then you're stuck with just that part of the tomato, which is, it's good, but it's not as much flavor as you have on the inside of your other tomatoes. So I like to use just different colors of tomatoes for just for a little pop on your plate. I also have some of these beautiful heirloom cherry tomatoes that Nichols carries. So I'm gonna use some of these, cut these in half. A few red, a few yellow, just for extra color. And then you can cut your tomatoes however you like. So I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces so it's easier to eat with the bread. And all my ingredients I'm using today are all from the Green City Market. The basil is from Nichols Farms. The bread's from Flour Bakery. If you can't find burrata at the market, feel free to use a fresh mozzarella that I know is at the market. So now we have all of our tomatoes inside the bowl. We're going to season a little salt and pepper. Bread over here. And now we're going to add the pesto that we just made. Just going to mix it around so everything gets a little bit of pesto on there, just like so. Now we can plate. So for the burrata cheese, I like to cut the burrata in half. just so it kind of starts to ooze out. Doesn't be all the way in half, just enough so you can see that the soft cheese inside. And then always salt and pepper your cheese. A little salt, a little sea salt, cracked black pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to plate our tomatoes. So now we have our Essenza balsamic, which is an aged balsamic. Drizzle a little bit on top here. Just like that. And we're just going to finish with some micro basil right on top of the cheese. And it's a little bit on the tomatoes. Toast. Just cut these in half. There we go. And that will be your tomato and burrata salad.
Cedric, that looked incredible. And I love the way you used the basil both in the dish as well as the cocktail. I know I have basil growing in my home garden, and this would be just a great way to use up some of that basil I have. I have a ton of it. As you know, we really, at GCM, education is so important. And we do this and make sure that the next generation of eaters really understands where their food is coming from, how it's grown, and how to cook it so they can nourish themselves for a lifetime. So we are teaching in Chicago schools 5 days a week, and we see over 500 students per year through our edible education program, through the chef demos that you mentioned, through our field trips, and of course our cooking classes. But for the home chef watching tonight, what would you recommend as sort of the first step to getting in the kitchen and getting cooking if they haven't always been a really comfortable cook?
I would recommend if you don't want to jump right in, maybe you want to watch a couple videos, about this time of the year with everything COVID. There's a lot of different demonstrations that people are doing on YouTube. You can always try to do that. And then just slowly move into it. Start simple with the salad. Baking. A lot of people can it's something with few ingredients. I would say start with, and then gradually move forward with that with different techniques. Everything doesn't have to be in a sauté pan or a fryer. You just figure out something like the casserole that can go in the oven, or you can just use like fresh ingredients to make a really good product.
Great. Paul, do you have any tips that you'd like to share?
I think Cedric really kind of, he really hit it well. I mean, there's a lot of resources out there where you can find out. I mean, you can learn how to do just about anything on the internet now. I'm sure all of the chefs on this panel would agree with me that there's something special about an old-fashioned cookbook, And so, it's classic and you can still get it. Joy of Cooking. I mean, it's got everything in there, how to roast a chicken, how to bake bread, but, and I always say this to my staff too, like if they're thinking about something or if they want to work on a special, I think it's important to really like cook the things that you love, like start with that, like what do you like to eat? And then, that's the focus and learn that. Like now it's summertime is easy cooking, right? And then obviously if you shop at the Green City Market with all the great produce and other things you can buy there, it's such an easy meal to put everything on the grill. Like I if I'm cooking at home, I'm gonna grill everything. I'm gonna buy some nice bread. I'm gonna grill that. I'm gonna grill fish, eat whatever, vegetables, a little vinaigrette. But it's an easy time of the year to cook. But I think you gotta cook what you love. And I'm a little concerned. My older son is going to college and he loves to eat, but he's not much of a cook. So that's been kind of the challenge we've been talking about. I'm like, hey, I got to show you just a few things, like a half a dozen, and it still hasn't happened yet. But so, anyway.
We talk about that with the seniors that we teach all the time. Like, next year you're cooking for yourself, so pay attention in class.
Just dial in a couple of things. That's it.
Seth and Ryan, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, for sure. I think the easiest way, like Paul said, is just go buy a deep fryer and start throwing things in. Maybe don't do that first, but definitely kind of go gravitate towards what you like to eat. A lot of families have recipes that are passed down. That's a good place to start. You probably have someone in the family that's made that recipe a few thousand times, so kind of your loved ones to help you out in that experience. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I was kind of a lost cause through college, so I was kind of a picky eater. I would still have my mom make me grilled cheese sandwiches all the way up until I guess my palate started developing. I just started exploring food more. But there's no age that's too late to start cooking.
Agreed.
We really started after college is when we started learning how to cook and did a lot more cooking. But it's never too late to start. And start with something, start with grilled cheese. Start with something simple that you like to eat and have fun with it. And a big thing for us too, we get good quality bread. Of course, we bake a lot with our business, but even making just the perfect piece of toast is, you could pan fry, you could lightly toast. There's so many things you can do with it. There's as simple as a piece of bread toasted can go many different ways, and you just learn so much through applying different, cooking techniques to a piece of bread, I'd say. So just explore and have fun, and the sky's the limit. It's up to you.
Between the demos and this discussion, now I'm hungry. Cedric, we have a viewer question for you. Somebody wanted to know, if you don't have a food processor at home, can you still make the basil pesto that you demonstrated?
Oh, definitely. I would say instead of using a processor, you can just hand chop it, chop it as fine as you can. Just don't chop the basil too much, just gonna start turning really black, really dark. Just to save the color. But everything else you can chop and just mix in the bowl, and same product.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, chefs, for the inspiration, and Cedric for the tip. And we agree, we tell the students all the time, keep it simple, use what's in season, and you really can't go wrong with just a good salad and something basic. So now we have our last chef demo of the evening from Seth and Ryan. Let's see what they're cooking.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Ryan. This is Seth. Together we make up New Dude Food. We're super excited to be a part of the Green City Farmers Market Chef's Barbecue at Home.
And what are we cooking up with you tonight? Well, we have some of our signature sourdough bread, which we're going to make into a little crostini with some seasonal items. This time of year, as we get into the hottest months of the year, stuff is really starting to come out from our farms. So we have some really, really good looking stuff. We made a pea puree here and some roasted rainbow carrots. We're going to make basically a pea and carrot crostini with a little shaved fennel salad or slaw on top of that. It's going to kind of bring together all these flavors of late spring, early summer, and hopefully it's delicious. We're going to start by cutting open the bread. We baked this morning. We bake our sourdough bread every week in-house, and if we did a good job, we'll see what the crumb looks like here. Not too bad, looking pretty good. I think that'll pass. We're going to take one piece, thinly slice it here. Always remember when you're slicing sourdough bread, kind of a sawing action back and forth as opposed to really trying to chop down on it is going to help quite a bit. So we have one piece. Ryan's going to put it in a pan here with a little good quality extra virgin olive oil over kind of low, medium, low heat. You don't want to go too hot. You don't want the olive oil to smoke too much. So kind of a nice light toast on it will be really nice in a crostini form. Let's talk about kind of what else we've done here. We have a pea puree. What we did was we had some frozen peas from Mick Klug Farm in St. Joe's, Michigan. We blanched those in salted water for about 4 or 5 minutes. Took them out, put them in a Vitamix blender with just a little more of that salty water, some extra salt, and pureed them up. There's really no fat in here. There's going to be plenty of other sources of fat in this dish, namely olive oil. But a super simple way to have a nice, bright, really kind of fresh pea flavor. These were beautiful, rainbow carrots from Nichols Farm in Marengo, Illinois. And what we did with these was a hot oven about 400 degrees, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and we roasted them for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're tender. And fennel is a really great vegetable. It's one of our favorites. You can cook it and it gets kind of nutty and sweet. Raw, it's nice and crisp, and if you shave it thinly and put a vinaigrette on it, it's delicious. It has a nice anise flavor, kind of black licorice flavor, and Ryan's going to mandolin that up, and we're just going to make a super simple vinaigrette for it. Basically what we're going to use is good quality extra virgin olive oil again, and then we're going to season the fennel with a little fish sauce and lime juice. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, fish sauce, why would that go in this? Basically, it's just going to add an element of umami. It's going to be the salt factor in this salad. And if you're vegan or you don't like fish sauce, go ahead and substitute soy sauce. You could do just salt and pepper. You don't have to use it, but we love using ingredients like this to just kind of change the dynamics of the flavor and really add an umami punch to it. Really delicious. So we have the fennel here. Pull it apart a little bit, and we're going to go into a bowl with some chopped shallots. Any bigger pieces you can kind of break apart with your fingers. Got that in the bowl. How about a little olive oil? Get things started in there. Little fish sauce, I don't know, about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. And you need some acidity in there, lime juice. That's what you're really going for. And pretty much all of cooking is this nice balance between, sweetness, sourness, which is acidity, richness, which comes in the form of fat, like the olive oil, and kind of a nice balance between those flavors. It's not so much what you're making, it's kind of making sure you keep that balance throughout the process here. So I'm just going to mix this up lightly with my hands. You know what? Maybe a little pepper in there. Black pepper will add a nice bite. Maybe another little pinch of salt. Make sure it's nice and well seasoned.
Rub it with some fresh garlic as well. A nice little tip. Rub it on your crust. Almost makes like a garlic bread. There we go.
And I think we're going to go with a little of that really nice, beautiful, bright green pea puree. We're going to go in with some of these rainbow carrots. Perfect. All right, just a little of that fennel salad or slaw, whatever you want to call it, on top. A couple garnishes. These things, carrot tops, which most carrots from the farmer's market will come with. Don't throw that away. They have a ton of flavor. Not only can you use them as a garnish, you can make a pesto with them. Same goes for the fennel fronds is what they're called. Just a nice, really easy way to kind of beautify your food. Is that a word?
It is now.
We'll kind of garnish this together. Little Maldon flaky sea salt at the end. Really just kind of brings the saltiness to a new level. And there you have it, a little sweet pea and carrot toast with a fennel salad.
Seth and Ryan, thank you for that delicious demo. I love the tip that you gave for using the carrot tops and the fennel frond to decorate, and just so that you don't waste. We talk about that in our classes all the time. Use everything that you have, waste nothing, and it really stretches your purchasing power and your food a whole lot farther. So thanks for that. Seth and Ryan, we've got a question from the audience. Do you have a tip on how to preserve the fresh peas so that they're available all year long?
Yeah, for sure. Fresh peas, easiest way, especially if they're shelled, just put them in the freezer. Pea season is now over, but even McClude Farm, for example, sells buckets of frozen peas, so they'll last a long time. Pull them out and throw them in a soup, a sauce, anything, and they'll be good, probably 6 months to a year in the freezer.
Get us through those long winter months here. But switching gears just a little bit, we know that you both are really passionate about food access and that all Chicagoans should have access to great, healthy food. How has your perspective on food access changed a bit, and especially affordable food access during this pandemic?
Yeah, it's been really trying for all of us, all of the panel as chefs, and trying to maintain their business and their restaurants. I think for us, it's really made us think, even more about what's available, knowing that there's limited quantities. You're making access during that time like a little harder, because now maybe everyone can't go to the market that could before. There's some limitations. We don't have some of all the options that we did. But besides that, I think we still, as chefs and food conscious citizens, make sure that we still go that extra step, whatever it may be, to ensure we're getting still fresh produce. Now with Amazon and all these pop-up markets and things, you have access to things so quickly, but it's important to still shop locally, support the market, because those ingredients are still there. You just have to, you may have to go one extra step during COVID, just to make sure you're still getting all those nutrients and the fresh ingredients that you need.
Cedric or Paul, would you like to add something there?
Sure, yeah. I think it's very important that people are able to have as much access to, I think, the produce or the products that are in the region. Within Chicagoland, Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin, you have all your basic food groups. So it's like I think that you can the COVID with the COVID period. I think that it's it helped and hurt it a little bit. People are all at home and they can all eat together. They can get some of these local ingredients. But of course, with some of the viruses are affecting some of the processing plants and things like that. It's kind of made it hard for people to get the local things. Now I have to outsource, but on the regular day, I think it'd be great to make sure that everyone has access to affordable, fresh food.
Paul, would you like to add? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just to add. I mean, it's such a loaded question, such a complicated issue. But I mean, no doubt, everybody should have access to fresh food and nutritionally sound food. It's such a complicated issue, but I think and all three of the chefs did touch upon the whole idea. Like, if you eat regionally, and there were and we and our country sort of shifted away from a lot of the conventional farms and had more smaller farms that were growing, that were growing a very, very, very diverse, selection of produce mixed with maybe raising a few animals. It's much more of a sustainable model. I think Americans especially, have to probably start eating less meat, just to make an impact on the climate. It's a very complicated issue. I wish I had all the answers.
It is indeed. And now, thank you all for sharing your perspectives on this. And now we're going to be able to hear directly from our farmers of how they've been handling the epidemic and what they're doing, and how we get a sneak peek behind their farms. This will be great. Then after we come back, it'll be time for all the viewers to take action. And you can do that right at givebutter.com, GCM Chef Barbecue. And help us really create the food system that you want, and make sure you have access to great healthy food for generations to come. After the video, we'll also hear again from our chefs. So please, if you're watching us on Facebook, open a browser tab and visit givebutter.com/GCM Chef BBQ right now. We'll see you in a moment.
Thank you. Is that good? Oh, now you're going to share it after you put it in your mouth. You can have it. Oh, you bit Grandma's fingers. You like it? This is the farm of my grandparents, actually. So when I was a little kid, we lived on the other side of the hill, and I could sneak over here to Grandma. So it's part of me. Something about agriculture, you can't get it out of you.
Let me pull some carrots for you. Should be cool.
We're literally pulling it out the day before our customer gets it. The nutrients that we're pumping back into the soil, the nutritional density, it's not in the same ballpark.
the animals are cared for. They are living a happy life on our pastures. You are putting good food on your table. You're really nurturing your body with our products. It goes from the farm to the market to your house.
Our mission is farmers' education and access. And so what that really means is we are doing everything we can to make sure our farmers who are growing sustainably, our local Midwest farmers, that they're here for another generation.
As a business, they provided us to spread out our reputation, and several chefs from the restaurants in downtown, they come to reach out to us because they were at the Green City Market. I want to know what I'm eating, where is it from. So I started reaching out to soybean farmers in Illinois, organic, non-GMO, and can ship it to us directly.
There's a real disconnect these days with how food is grown, where it comes from, how it gets to you. And so many people think it kind of just arrives on the shelves of a grocery store.
If you extend agriculture to the market end of it, you're face to face with people and they're asking wonderful questions, wanting to learn more, and you're nourishing their knowledge, you're nourishing their bellies. It's just really fun that way.
We'd like to say we're a market on a mission. So beyond helping our farmers here at Market, we also have our education programs. Last season we were teaching in the classroom in CPS schools 5 days a week.
So what we had mushroom, we had rosemary. So what we did, we cut the rosemary and mushroom very, very small.
Making sure that the next generation of eaters is comfortable with where their food is coming from and really how to nourish themselves for a lifetime.
Thank you.
You need to involve the whole community because you're feeding the whole community. And part of that is the accessibility.
We believe at Green City Market that good food is a right, not a privilege. So we welcome Link at every one of our markets. We match it dollar for dollar up to $15 per market day.
We do have a lot of Link customers and we love to see them come week after week.
Everybody should have access to nutritionally dense, healthy food.
So during the pandemic, we quickly had to find other avenues for our farmers to get food to Chicagoans. Within about 10 days, we pivoted from a brick and mortar location to creating a delivery and pickup system. Since then, we started with about 60 orders once a week. We now do pickup, delivery, and pickup at Market and do over 600 orders per week. And this has helped keep our farmers in business through the pandemic.
Green City is the cornerstone of our business. Without Green City and their leadership of moving us towards online ordering, I don't know where we'll be.
We would not be farming. Green City has really stepped up with everything that they're doing. They're thinking of us. They wouldn't let it fall.
If Green City Market didn't exist, our farm would have went under this year. I mean, this is it, right? Small scale farming is food security.
Help us nourish Chicagoans for today,
tomorrow,
and for a lifetime. Give now.
Give now.
Please give now.
Give now.
please donate to the market.
Please give now.
I hope you enjoyed the video of the farmers as much as I did. As you can hear directly from the farmers, there is an urgent need for you to take action and create the sustainable local food system that you want to have. Again, I'm Melissa Flynn. I'm the Executive Director of Green City Market, and we are so happy to have all of you with us this evening. Well, we were hoping, of course, to be celebrating together in Lincoln Park the 20th year of Chef BBQ. It's still great to be together virtually. And seeing how many people have donated to us online and are logging on to listen to this, it is really heartening to have such an incredible community supporting our local farmers. Tonight, you've heard from both our incredible featured chefs and from several hardworking farmers about how much Green City Market means to them. But did you know that Green City Market Chef BBQ is so essential to fulfilling the mission and everything that we do? In 2019, Chef BBQ attendees supported 20% of our programs, all of our programs such as our chef demos, our edible education, our link program, our food access, and of course our farmer support. And that comes directly from the Chef BBQ. While we can't have events in person this year, and that part of things has been canceled, the mission at Green City Market has not. It is more important than ever to make sure that we work together to create the food system and the access to food that we want. All of the things that have happened in 2020 have been unprecedented, unplanned for, and unbudgeted. But we are here to make sure that the farmers you love are still here for generations to come. So while grocery stores were empty, we quickly changed and created Green City Market Delivered so that you could get food directly to your doors and keep our farmers going for another generation and another season. So tonight, while we're trying things that are new at market, tonight we're going to try something new together, and we're going to do our first ever virtual paddle raise. So bear with us, join us, and get ready to give. So I want to introduce you to Mandy Moody, our Director of Development, who's going to explain how to participate this evening.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. So as Melissa shared, I'm Mandy, the Director of Development with Green City Market. And tonight for our virtual paddle raise, you can give online right at givebutter.com/GCM Chef BBQ. There's also a number with a keyword at the bottom where you can text to donate if you prefer. Note that that keyword is case sensitive when you send it in. Melissa and I are going to be talking about 6 different donation levels tonight, and we're going to share with you the specific urgent need that you will support when you give at those levels. And it's really that simple. You can click the green donate button on givebutter.com. You can text in your gift. And we just want to remind you again, as we go through these 6 different donation levels, that give something that's meaningful to you. So if we don't name a level, all donations at every level are certainly appreciated and will make a big difference tonight. So Melissa, with that, I think we can go ahead and get started with our first donation level.
Absolutely, and we are so excited to announce that Holly Shear, the daughter of Green City Market founder Abby Mandel, has committed a $20,000 match to our paddle raise this evening. For every dollar you donate, she and her family will match dollar for dollar up to $20,000. So that exciting news, we are going to kick off with our first level, the $1,000 level. And simply put, a donation of $1,000 allows us to fulfill our mission each and every day. It allows us to bring our new home delivery program, Green City Market Delivered, right to your door. It allows us to provide another year of edible education, chef demos, and wonderful programs that you've come to know and love over the last 21 years. It allows us to make sure that every Chicago family has access to healthy food through welcoming Link at each and every one of our markets and matching it dollar for dollar up to $15 per market day. So if you are ready, go ahead and give it the $1,000 level or any level you are comfortable with.
Absolutely. So to start, I forgot to mention earlier that I'm going to be following along live on our givebutter.com page and recognizing and thanking the generous donors who have contributed to the event. So to kick off, we have 2 incredible anonymous donations, the first being a $1,000 gift. So awesome. Thank you so much to that anonymous donor. And then we also just popped up a few moments ago a $2,000 donation from an anonymous friend of Green City Market. So thank you so much for those gifts. They make a huge difference to executing our mission day in and day out.
Absolutely.
And we are so grateful. So we're going to keep the program rolling tonight. We told you that we would be around for an hour. We're going to go a little long, it looks like. But we're going to go ahead and keep things rolling with our next donation level. So Melissa, do you want to take it away with that next donation level?
Sure. So our next donation level is $500. And as we mentioned earlier, this would help provide one student with a year of edible education. And what we quickly learned teaching at Carl von Linné, one of the schools we work with, that has 90% of the students on free and reduced lunch, is it wasn't just enough to teach cooking and help kids nourish themselves for a lifetime if they didn't have access to great healthy food. So we paired our culinary education program with our food access program. And the students, their families, and the staff at that school can order directly from our farmers. We'll, of course, welcome link. We'll match it dollar for dollar up to $15 with every order, so that what they're learning in the classroom, they can take home and share with their families. And all of that creates a huge difference in the life of these students and their families. So we invite you to please join us at the $500 level this evening.
Absolutely. I think one of the favorite things that I love to see in the edible education classrooms is when students are really building a confidence, learning a new skill, trying a new food, just being brave and trying something new, which is really exciting to see. So we have some donors who've made gifts to help kick us off. So we have Claire Lehman. Thank you for your $500 donation. We also have Lauren Galanti. Thank you so much. Claire and Lauren are both members of our board of directors. So thank you for your gifts. We really appreciate your leadership and your donations tonight. Thank you. We have a donation from Tay.
Oh, one of our wonderful
donation.
volunteers. Thank you, Tay.
Yeah, thank you, Tay, so much. And we've got some anonymous gifts as well in at $500. So thank you, all of you anonymous donors. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So we're going to keep on going. We've got a $275 donation level tonight. Melissa, can you tell us what $275 could do for the Green City Market?
Sure. So obviously things are really different. If you've been to our market, everyone is masked, they're gloved. If you've received a delivery at your doorstep from us, the same is true. So $275 will help provide a month of PPE equipment so that we can keep our staff, our volunteers, and our farmers safe and make sure that the product that you're getting is safe and healthy as it can be. So please join us in keeping everyone safe and continuing these great programs at the $275 level.
Absolutely. And for those of you who joined us last year, that was also the value of a VIP experience.
So as I said, this is our first year doing a virtual paddle race, and we had a few technical difficulties, but welcome back.
Yes.
We invite you, as Mandy and I were talking about, the $275 level that really keeps our volunteers, staff, and farmers safe with the PPE equipment they really need. So please join us at that level. And one thing to also add, while we don't know what this fall will bring, if we will be in classrooms, what that's going to be looking like, if we will be online virtually teaching, everything we do, we are being set and ready to deliver you the great food and the educational programs and the access that we have done for the last 21 years.
Absolutely. So again, just in case we missed it with that little technical glitch, I just want to thank Brad again for his gift, for kicking us off with a $300 donation. We actually have a few more donations coming in. Jamie C., I have a feeling I know which Jamie C. that is. Thank you so much for that gift. We also have Dean Ricker and Dan Novak, who says, we love Green City and all of our farmer friends. We love you. Thank you so much for that donation. It so makes a difference for what we're trying to do in keeping everything going and going strong for our farmers, for our students, and for those who are shopping the market using links. So thank you so much. We're going to move on. Again, as I said, we're about halfway through those donation levels. Continue to give what you can when you can. We're going to talk about the $125 donation level, which represents the cost of last year's Chef Barbecue ticket. So if you attended the Chef Barbecue, and thousands of you did, we hope that you will consider giving at $125 this year as well. So not only is that the level of last year's Chef Barbecue ticket, it also represents funding 2 months of our link matching program. So last year we had over 900 customers who use our link matching program join us at the Green City Market in Lincoln Park and the West Loop from over 50 different zip codes across Chicago. It's truly incredible that the market really serves as that welcoming community space where people are encouraged to come in and to shop and get that local nutritious food. And so this $125 funds 2 months. So you double the purchasing power for 2 months. It's incredible. So if you are inspired to give now, please give that $125. And let me just check here. I know we had some folks give some early gifts. We have gifts coming in as well. We want to thank our friends Michael Garzel, Andy, and Claire O'Neill. We can't wait to see you next year. They left us a note that they can't wait to see us.
We all love the notes that everyone is sharing as well.
Exactly. The pictures and the gifts and everything really are bringing some fun to the evening tonight. Robert Lapota, Peter Jin, thank you so much. Jenny Beitel and Chris Kritzes. So we mentioned board members earlier. These are 2 of our amazing associate board members. And this is a group of young professionals who step up and support the market day in and day out. So thank you, Jenny and Chris. We've also got Mary Welsh, David Narevsky. Thank you so much. Keep those gifts coming in. We really appreciate them. Melissa, let's go ahead and move on to our next level. We've got 2 more levels to go. So can you talk to us about our $57 giving level?
Sure. So 57 may seem like a weird level to give out, but it's $1 for every vendor and farmer that we have at Green City Market this year. So please honor each of our farmers by donating $1 in their name, or $10, or $100, or $1,000 if you're feeling so generous. But at any level, this level helps recognize our farmers and all the hard work that they and our food artisans do to bring the market each and every week. We want to make sure that all of them are here, not only for the remainder of this season, but again, for generations to come. As all of the chefs talked about this evening, we need our local food system, and to have a great, healthy local food system, we need our farmers who are growing sustainably.
Absolutely. So we have several donations that have come in at different amounts. So we've got Stuart Baker. Stu, thank you so much for your $100 donation.
Thank you, Stu.
We also have a gift from Portia, who shared that Chef Barbecue is her favorite day of the year. So thank you to Portia for your $100 gift as well. We have a few other $100 contributions to share. Philippa Cannon, Stacy Kulken, who has been amazing and a huge support to all of our efforts as we've pivoted to this GCM delivered model. Becky Kiley, Elizabeth Richter, thank you so much. And Chelsea, your family is coming out big tonight. We have a gift from both your mom and your sister, which is amazing. Chelsea is our development associate who is behind the scenes tonight helping us run the camera. So thank you, Chelsea's family, for your amazing support. So now we're gonna move on to our final level, that $21 amount. So $21 represents $1 for every year that the market has been around. And so I think it's so important to know we all love and we shop the market, but we really do rely on charitable gifts to keep our programs, including the market, running every day throughout the year. So thank you so much for folks who are thinking about a $21 gift tonight. If you have yet to give, this would be a great way to honor your connection and your love of Green City Market with a donation tonight. So I am going to go ahead and start to thank our $21 and up donors. We've got Brendan. Thank you so much, Brendan. He says Green City Market is the greatest market on the planet, which...
And of course, we totally agree with that, Brendan.
Absolutely. We have got, let's see here, we've got Alan Lake, Sophia Chen, Sharon Repka, Lily, Mark, Andrea. We've got Liz Stelk of the Illinois Stewardship Alliance. Thank you, Liz, so much. And this is awesome. Gifts keep coming in. We've got a donation from Laura West. Laura West, thank you so much for your gift. And several anonymous gifts coming in as well. Monica, Greg, Sarah has made a gift. Thank you so much. Christy and Todd, Nieheiser. Hopefully I said your name right. Thank you so much. We can't wait for Chef Barbecue 2021 as well. We're so excited. So that was our kind of sprint through our fun and need tonight, and we're excited to bring back our chefs in just a moment. But we just want to say again, thank you so much. Keep on donating, keep on supporting Green City Market. We are so appreciative of everything that you do for us.
We are so grateful for everyone being with us this evening and for our chefs who shared so many great stories and ideas and inspiration with all of us. And of course, our farmers who welcomed us on their farm and shared a little bit about their families and how much Green City Market means to them. We encourage you to please keep giving, whether it's tonight or anytime after this at greencitymarket.org. We appreciate that you spent the evening with us. And the fun thing is that Chef Barbecue is just starting. So tonight really kicks off a month of Chef Barbecue activities. We know that our restaurant friends have also been hit by this pandemic, and we are encouraging everyone to visit them, get takeout, dine in, and they will be donating a % of that back to Green City Market to fund our mission. You can find out who's involved beyond the great chefs that joined us this evening. We have about 20 chefs participating for the next month right at greencitymarket.org. Again, we are so incredibly inspired by your generosity and your willingness to be with us. We look forward to seeing you again at the market soon. Thank you and good night.